Decisions. Where the beam will be, there we will place a lot of carbon fiber. Chamfer the core, I 3D printed this little tool.
Now we're just gonna pack everything up, label it. It's time to do this.
Okay, so as we're rethinking this taping the mold idea, and potentially want to do some wax instead, we will start to cut the fabric and core material before we apply any mold wax. We realized when we started laying out the fabric that we need to do something to be able to reach here in the middle. So we built this very quick support so we can, when later on laminating, access the middle part here as well.
Let's hope it holds.
It's very... it's a bit flexy.
This was the first layer, 280 grams twill weed. Now we're gonna move on to next type of fabric. Which was that?
It's I think one 650 gram biaxial fabric. So that one will not. This one conforms very well to the mold, but the other one will be way more difficult to shape.
Decisions.
Now we're planning and placing the core. I mean, here the walls of the doghouse will be mounted later on, but we will leave a piece here where we'll have a single laminate so that we can use that when we laminate in the walls into the roof. We also want a single laminate there because we're gonna attach rails on top here, handrails, and then we want to have a through bolt without any core. Yeah, but there's so many steps ahead that you want to think when you make those decisions.
We also have for the beam. We're gonna have a similar thing.
Yeah, I mean for the beam, obviously this is where the beam will be, and here we will place a lot of carbon fiber, and then we want that carbon to go up, and we want to have an edge here where both the outer skin and finally when we have core in the beam, the inner skin that will be up here will meet, and so then we're gonna place a thinner core here now. So this core is 20mm, and then we'll place a 10mm core here, and those 10mm will be where, the space where the beam core will fill up basically, more or less, and then we'll probably have to fire that deeply. Okay, so to chamfer the core, to make the fabric follow the core in a nice way, I 3D printed this little tool. So it's a cutting blade here and basically just a holder. This is then dimensioned for a 20mm core, as that is the one that we're going to use the most of here now, to get the 60°, depending on which angle you see, but maybe it's a 30° chamfer. I just cut this up quite quickly, and I realized I didn't really think that much about how you should use it, but I think I managed to do like a left-hand version of it, because it's the way it ended up. You have to use your left hand to use it. But yeah, anyhow, let's see if it works. That looks good, I think. It's the light sanding of the edge here. Okay, so the first chamfered piece is done. I think it looks really great. I think it's gonna be perfect. One thing on these guys, I mean obviously we have them kind of upside down now in the way that they are actually normally bending or are cut to bend as they are. They have this I guess it's a glass fiber sheet holding them together, and then they are cut on this side, so they bend very well, conform very well on this way. But as our radius for the roof is so big, just the slits that is cut out is enough for it to bend or conform. And it's way easier to work with than this way, having this glass fiber net holding all the small pieces in the edge here together. So if we would have had them on the other way around, it would have just been more difficult to have all or they would fall off they would fall off. So that's why we're having the core kind of upside down or the wrong way. Okay, let's chamfer this one. So we plan to embed a pipe where we can have some cables for electricity later on, and I think it will be somewhere embedded in the core here. And the reason, or what we're going to use it for, is that we're going to have some spotlights here in the roof, and then we will also have flexible solar panels on the top. And the idea is to align the connection for the flexible solar panels to the spotlights, so that when we drill through the roof, we'll end up in the backside of the spotlight. And then we will have this pipe going through all the spotlights and connection boxes basically, and then we can route all the cables there, and then it will continue in the beam here and then go through the deck. I think this chamfer tool works really well.
Looks really good. This is the second piece that we do on the outside of the roof, close to the beam so much.
Some of the pieces here is probably quite difficult to understand why they look like, but
yeah.
it will make more sense later on.
This is the first piece. Final piece
For the roof.
for the roof, yeah.
Final glass fiber. Then we need to cut the peel ply as well.
Yeah. Now we have also cut the peel ply, so we have that prepared as well. Now we're just gonna pack everything up, label it, so we have it all organized and nice. With this little map for our layers, so we're gonna make sure to fill it out.
Then we just need to prepare the mold, and then we can laminate.
Yoo-hoo.
Okay, so I think we're done with the mold and ready to put on the wax. I mean, we tested a lot of different things, and we ended up in what we put on is now that first we put on a layer of paint, a primer, like indoor primer, that we plan to use as to get a good surface for taping the mold as that was our first initial idea. When that didn't turn out very well when we tested it, we decided to go for a mold release wax instead, and that one needed a surface that was a non-porous surface, so we coated the whole thing with epoxy on top of this primer with some light sanding in between, and then we have sanded the epoxy to get it as fair as possible. Basically, we put on just one layer of epoxy. On the test piece we did two, but that was on the pure plywood. This one was already painted, so it didn't suck that much epoxy as the first layer on pure plywood. Yeah, so now we're going to put on wax, and I think we'll just bet on putting on a lot of wax because it feels like that's really the thing to make sure it releases in the end. And when that is done, we will start laminating today, which feels super exciting.
Exciting!
We have applied 3 layers of wax now, and we're just gonna polish off the last layer. But after that, I think we're gonna try to actually put in some wax in some boards that we probably should have solved earlier, but we were a bit eager to move on, as you normally end up. But it feels like it's possible to just fill it up with some wax, and hopefully it won't. Hopefully it will end up good. I don't know, we're trying here. We've never done this before, so. But it feels like it could be a good idea. Otherwise, it feels like the laminate might get stuck in those small voids, and then it will be more difficult to demold it later. Let's see how it turns up. It's a bit vague in the descriptions of how you should apply this wax. You should kind of polish it off or wipe it off or something like that when it has dried. But we don't really know how much it is. So now we have actually left quite a lot of wax. We have definitely not polished away the same way as you would do when you polish a gel coat on your boat, for example. And that's because we really want to make sure that there is wax there, so we won't get stuck. Hopefully we won't have any other problems due to that. I'm not sure what it could be, but yeah, that's how we've done it at least. And that's mainly because we don't really need, of course it would be nice, but it's not necessary for us to get a super good surface finish, as we're gonna paint it afterwards anyway. So yeah, let's hope it won't get stuck in the mold.
It's time to do this. Just gonna make sure everything.
Final preparations.
Yeah, it's prepped and ready. And then it's gonna be some intense hours maybe, laminating.
I think so too. But it's gonna be fun as well.
Yeah.
We've really been looking forward to this moment, so.
All the preparations, now we're gonna actually create something.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. Have we spent that much time really on this one?
No, because we had it has taken quite some time because we had the engine struggles in between.
Yeah, we've been doing other stuff, but
yeah.
The actual time on this we haven't spent that much.
No. Just been over a long period of time. taking a look at the doghouse. After yeah, now it has cured. It looks good.
Should we put some peel ply?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, both the cameras died during lamination, the last part of it, but overall it went quite well. It took quite some time though, around 6 hours to get it fully down.
Yeah.
And then we spent some, maybe too much time on the beam protrusion because we had some difficulties with air bubbles.
But I really like we got the whole roof here, or the inner part, flat and nice. Super pleased with this. This looks really good, I think.
Our next step will be to start making the walls of the doghouse, which we will use resin infusion for the panels.
Yes.
And we're not gonna release it from the mold yet, so but we hope that that works later on. But we will have it in the mold while we do the rest, the walls and the main sheet arc, which will be the next step after the walls, which we also will use resin infusion for. We have decided on, but more on that later, I guess.
This looks really nice. Super cool.